going to be doing the Subnetting Skills Challenge. As you can see here, we have a diagram of the actual challenge itself, and I'm just going to jump right into the subnetting. Right, so first things first, we have our first router, which is router 0, and it is a class C router, right? And the IP address for this is 192.168.4.0/24. Right, and we need to subnet this so it has two subnets and Tite host. Right, two subnets and Tite host. Right, so let me just erase this. Right. So this IP address has a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, and this in binary, right, gives us 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right, and this gives us a total of 256 hosts. Right? And we don't need 256 hosts. We don't need 256 hosts, right? What we need is 30 hosts. Right? So how do we go from 256 to 30? So let's just take note of the /24, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Oops. 6 7 8. Alright. And this gives us 256 hosts. Right? So now let's try to see if we can get to the host. So let's borrow one bit. Moving from left to right, we're just gonna borrow bits until we are able to get the Tite host that we need. Right? So let's go to 25, and /25 gives us 128 hosts. I'll show you in binary. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right, and that basically means that we just borrowed one bit, right? And it goes 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, right? So this one here is 128, and we just borrowed that one bit, so we get 128 host, right? So obviously this is not the one that we need, and this is not the one that we need. Right, so now let's try and borrow another one. 26, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right, and here we have we borrowed 2 bits, and this gives us 64 hosts, because our last borrowed bit here is 64, and as I explained, the list goes 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Right, and as we can see here, this is also not the one we need. So let's keep on going. Wrong color. So 27. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right, this one gives us 32 hosts, and we're going to go with this one because it gives us the closest number of hosts, and it will give us the two subnets with the Tite usable host, right? So obviously you don't need to go through this tedious list. I only did this to show you an example, but obviously if you know the headings of this, which is 128, if you know the headings of the subnet mask in binary, which is 128, 6432, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, right, you can subnet this pretty easily. We could have just gone with 32 right off the bat, because obviously we know now that we just need to borrow 3 bits in order to get 32 host, right? So this is our subnet mask that we are going with, right? So now that we borrowed 3 bits, we have a /27. Subnet mask is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And our new subnet mask is 255.255.255.240. Right, and how we get 240, but as I'm going to tell you now. Right, so when I said the headings are 128, 6422, 168421, all we're going to do is just add up the number of bits where the bits are turned on. So our bits are 128 plus 64 plus 32, which gives us 240, right? And that is basically it, right? So now we have our subnet mask, right? And our last borrowed bit is here. So our last borrowed bit is equal to 32. This is very important because it is going to be the network itself is going to be incremented by 32, right? So I'll show you what that means right now. So our last word bit is our magic number, and that is how much it is going to be incremented by, right? So I'll show you now. So I'll show you what it means by being incremented. So when we borrowed the bits, we changed the network from a /24 to a /27, right? And this is our SATA network, right? This is now our SATA network. This is our first subnet, right? And as we know, our magic number is 32, which gives us 32 hosts, right? So when we increment, right? When we increment, that is going to give us our subnet, right? So our first subnet is actually 192.168.4.0, right? And our second subnet is 192.168.4.32/27, right? And now let's just do the ranges for them. So our first network 192.168.4.0/27 has a range from 192.168.4.0 to 192.168.4.31, right? Let me tell you a different color. And our second network 192.168.4.32/27 goes from 192.168.4.32 to 192.168 to 4. Okay, now moving on to router 1, right? Router 1 is also class C, and we need to subnet this so that it has 4 subnets and 60 available hosts, right? So our IP address is, well, not IP address, our network address, IP address, something, right? It's 192.168.20.0, right? And it's a /24, right? Then we have our subnet mask. Let's use a different color. 255.255.0. Now, 5 looks weird. Now, right? So now we have that, right? From the previous video, we did borrow up to 3 bits, and we learned that borrowing 2 bits will give us a total of 64 hosts, right? So when we borrow 2 bits, it's going to become right, and then our magic number is going to be 64, right? And this is what it's going to look like when we borrow our 2 bits, and our new subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.192, right? And our new network address is going to be 192.168.2.0/26. So as you can see from the difference here, it went from a /24 to a /26, and we have changed our subnet mask, right? So now let's get into the host. I'm gonna do it one time. So since 64 is our magic number, right? We need to increment by 64, right? Our first host is going to be 192.168.2.0/26, right? And the range is going to range from 192.168.2.0 to 192 to 192.168.2.0 to 192.168.2.64, right? Oh, not 64, 63. My bad. Right? The reason it's not 64 is because .64 is one of our subnets, right? So now let's do, and I will do it right now actually. So our second subnet, this is our first subnet here. Our second subnet, 192.168.2.64/26, and our range is 192.168.2.64 to 192.168.2.191, right? And this is our second host, right? That is our second subnet with 60 hosts, right? Then we have 192.168.2.128/26, and this is going to range from 192.168.2.128 to 192.168.2.191. Right, this is our third one, and our fourth one, it is going to be 192.168.2.192, and the range it's going to range from 192.168.192, oh, not 192, 2.192 to 192.168.2.256, right? So that is our fourth host, and with all the examples put together, our 4 subnets are 192.168.2.0/26, and our second one 192.168.2.64/26, and third one 192.168.2 192.128/26, and then last one 192.168.2.192. so whole different class. 172.20.0.0 is our network address, and it's a /16, and our subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. right? So as we know, /24 gives 256 hosts. Right, what /24 look like? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right, that's our /24 subnet masking binary. We need to turn off bits compared to when we were in class C. We were turning on bits, now we're turning off bits, right? So we're gonna turn off 2 bits to get 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right, let me just rewrite this. Right, so now we have turned off our 2 bits, and it's now a /22. It's turned off 2 bits, right? We went from /24 to /22, right? And our new network address is 172.20.0.0/22. Our new subnet mask is 255.255.252.0, right? And the number of usable hosts is now 1022, right? So we got our usable host from just doing the subnet mask calculation, right? So now, since we turn off 2 bits, our magic number is now 4, right? So our network is going to increment by 4, right? So the criteria was that we needed 4 networks with 1,000 hosts each, right? So let's get our networks. So networks are going to be in black, and their ranges are going to be in blue. So the subnets will be 172.20.0.0. Oops, that's 0, and that is a /16, right? And then that range is going to be 172.20.0.0 to 172.20.3.0, right? And for our second subnet, it's going to be 172.20.0. Oh, my bad, not .0.4.0/16, and the range on this one is going to be 172.20.4.0 to 172.20.7.0. Right, so next one. Next one is 172.20.8.0, right, /16, and our range is going to be 172.20.8.0 to 172.20.11.0. Last one, our last subnet is now going to be 172.20. Sorry, Melissa, brother. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah. Our last subnet is going to be 172.20.12.0, and it's going to be /16, and the range is going to be my bad. Sorry, excuse me. I was doing something. Okay, and the range is going to be 172.20.12.0 to 172.20.15.0. There you have it. We have subnet number 1 with the host. We have subnet number 2, 3, and R3. Router 3 is a class B router, and the criteria for this one is 4 subnets with 5,000 hosts each, right? And our IP address is 172.24.0.0, and it's with /16. And our subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. Right. So as you know, traditional subnet mask is as /24. It's engraved, right? And it's 111. Right, and this gives us a total of 256 hosts, right? And in order to get it so that we need so that we can get 5,000 hosts, we need to turn off bits just as we did with the previous router, right? So we are going to turn off 5 bits. So our subnet our network is going to become /19, and our subnet mask is going to become 1, 2. Right. So this is our new subnet mask, right? And our new network is going to be 172.24.0.0/19, and our new subnet mask is 255.255.224.0, right? And the number, and our magic number, right? Because in our in the octet where we turned off the 5 bits, right? It looked like this, right? So octet right here, and as you can see, we are on the 32 bit, right? So our magic number is 32. Our network is going to be implemented by 32. So let's get our subnets. So our subnets are going to be 172.24.0.0/19. That's our first subnet. Second subnet, 172.24.32.0/19. Third one, 172.24.64.0/19, and our fourth subnet is 172.24.96. 24.0/19. So this is our 4 subnets here. Now let's get the ranges. With the subnets, I'm going to relist them. Right, subnets in black, usable host in blue. So subnet first, the first subnet 172.24. Okay, so we have, let's get the subnets and the ranges. So we have the first one here, 172.24.0.0, and our range is going to be 172.20.0 to 172.20.31.0. Then we have our second subnet, 72.32.0/19, and then the range is 172.20.32.0, and that goes to 172.20.63.0. Right, third subnet 172.24.64.0, and then we have our range, which is 172.20.64.0 to 172.20.95.0. And lastly, we have 172.24.96.0/19. Then we have the range, which is 172.24.96.0 to 172.20. Oh, my bad. This is not supposed to be a 4, it's supposed to be a 0. 172.20.127.0.